Now in this video I'm going to turn a bowl using only scrapers. Stay tuned. So this is the blank I'll be using, chestnut, around 6 3/4 inch diameter, that's 170 mil, and 2 inches thick, 50 mil. There is a split, at least what I can see from this rough edge, around half an inch, 12 mil, going in up to here. Hopefully that will go away. Let me show you the scrapers I'll be using. So refiner, that's around 45 degrees up to 50 degrees bevel, and you can see the shape. All the burrs at the moment are straight from the grinder. The second scraper I'll be using is this SPUR point, which will be part of my signature lineup, hopefully. So around 50, from 45 to 55 degrees bevel on both of the sides, and wings are slightly curved. Next one is square end scraper, which also will be part of my signature line. 10 mil thick, 25 mil wide. This is more of a heavy duty hollowing scraper. Now this is a lighter version, 20 mil wide by 6 mil. That's 3/4 inch by 1/4 inch. And here as well is bevel around from 45 to 50 degrees. Now this is bowl scraper. You can see the shape, and also the angle is 45, around 45 on the nose, but slightly more acute here on the side, so it's not as grabby here, but from this point up to the nose it's around 45 degrees, and you can see the shape. And finally, this is asymmetric or French curve scraper. This one has on the nose again around 45 to 50 degree nose angle, but from this point up to the side of the scraper it's around 60-65 degrees. So this area is not grabby, especially on a cross grain work. On a end grain work this will work as well really nicely, so you don't want to have too much of a angle on the side of the scraper. The way you sharpen this bevel is by freehand, so pushing up the wheel and changing that angle at the same time. So now let's see how to use scrapers to shape the outside of the bowl here. So first thing is to get a rough shape first. Bring the speed up gradually, see what works. This is around 1400 RPM. Let's start first with the refiner. Again, all the burrs here are straight from the grinder. Handle end is higher than the cutting edge here. Just lock the focus so the shavings don't mess up the focus on the camera. So that works quite well. Square end scraper, big one. Now I need to drop the rest slightly down, it's much thicker tool. And with the scrapers, especially standard scrapers, I want to be at the center height with the end of the handle higher than the cutting edge here. So for the moment, these are all roughing cuts. Now I can use square end scraper to get a nice true diameter. So again, end of the handle is higher, and I'm using the right point. Show you that from a different angle. Now the reason I'm going in this direction, because now I'm only removing side grain. If I would go from this direction, then I would face end grain as well. So this is much easier on the tool. slowly through the end. So that's nice and true. It won't be great surface because here we face a lot of the end grain, so you can see it's quite rough. Something similar you would get from carbide tools at this point. So now we can focus on getting the tenon on and the rest of the shape. Now this split doesn't go all the way through, which is good, but I want to remove some of the depth here a little bit more. Back with a 3/4 of an inch square and scraper. Pump the camera. So this is for the chuck. I can use a refiner. Now I'll position the camera like so you can see the shape developing. Now I can remove most of the timber by square cuts, so going like this. So visualize the shape, but in sort of square. And once you remove those squares, you will be left with a curve. Again, it's much easier to go into side grain rather than end grain. I can use a square and scraper as well here. Start to rotate the handle. Or I can use, let's say, a refiner. A refiner is scraper, so for the moment I'm not looking for a clean surface, I'm looking for a good shape. Little OG profile. Now let's focus on the tenon. Now just to show you the rough surface and how we're going to clean it up as well. So you can see all the tear out and everything. Again, I was not careful to get a nice surface, just the rough shape as well here on the tenon. So first what I want to do is start with a nice clean diameter tenon, and if you're faint of heart a little bit, now it's time to switch to another video. So I'm going to use a spear point scraper. I do not recommend doing this because, again, I'm usually using spindle gouge to get nice clean diameter on the tenon, but I want to show you that you can do it with a scraper as well. You just have to know how to do it. So I'll be using the point of the scraper, spear point scraper, and also I'll be using the bevel. So I'll be riding the bevel to get nice clean tenon, but you have to be really careful not to bump into this wing here, the top wing, which is unsupported, much like with the skew, but here the tolerance is way less. So I keep it on the side and lift the handle slightly, and again I only want to use the tip, and let me show you. So I'm only using the tip of the spear point and lower edge to remove the the wood. You do not want to point this straight in because you will have a catch. So that's pretty good tenon. And now I can remove from the tenon or get away from the tenon to smooth the surface. Now I can use the spear point flat. Again, be careful not to just poke this into corner because you will have a catch. And now I can clean up the corner as well a little bit better. So that's good. Like so. Get this down a little bit. Now the spear point, using it flat like this, isn't the best angle for my body to move around, to smooth this. So I like to use a refiner, and now a really light touch. It will probably take a few passes to remove that tear out, but go nice and smooth and light. Now I feel that on the top portion here where you can see a little stick of dust stick on the blade, the burr is slightly gone. There is still on the bottom portion, so I can use as a shear scraper. I'm getting a slight vibration here because the top isn't flat. It's on a screw chuck, but for now it will be okay, just to see how the surface is moving along. Okay, I'm getting rid of the tear out, still a little bit more of course, and this knot will fall out, but should be okay for the holding point. This is not a ball that will go to a client or anything like that. So that's pretty good, but I want to refresh the edge on refiner. And here in the curve, I'll use it as a shear scraper. I'll go really light. So I avoid vibration. Okay, the tear out on the side here is pretty much gone, so all that it's left is the bottom. I'll flatten with a refiner. Okay, that feels okay. I can use spear point to make a bead. Just knock off the corners on each side, and also I'll knock off this so it's not sharp. And just to show you this as a whole before sanding, again, this one probably will fall out, but that's pretty good surface, again, straight from the using a scraper. Inertia sander And beeswax. So that's the outside done, and you can see that looks really lovely. And let's see. Now, I didn't make the tenon a little bit too small, so a little rag grip. There we go. So I used a thin piece of cloth to back up the tenon, so now the chuck grips it. So now let's hollow it out with scrapers. Again, I can use a refiner here. Or square and scraper. Now I need to raise the rest slightly. And I'll drill a depth hole. Lines should be okay. Now again, I can use here that square method. Let's say so, 3/4 of an inch square and scraper. Open this up a little bit, now find the bottom, which is usually quite a way down. So that's my bottom. So now I can step again this out. Again, it's much easier go straight in like so than if I swing the scraper around, let's say using French curve scraper like this. Now I'm facing end grain. If I go to the left, if I go towards the bottom like so, now I'm more into side grain, which is much easier on the tools. So I can use the big square and scraper as well. Again, stepping it out, much like with the CNC would do. Now I need to figure out what I want to do with the rim here. Now I'm supporting the back of the rim with my fingers. Okay, so that's my overall rough shape. A little bit more this rim. So nice light touch to get it nice and smooth. Now the end grain here, that little portion, I haven't cleaned up yet, so I'll use a refiner just here on the end grain as a shear scraper to get it nice and clean. So now I can refine the rest here, again using the refiner, blend it to a nice point. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now project the curve here. Now using here, the best would be something like a bowl scraper, which already has some sort of a shape of what you're trying to do on the inside. Now the rest is ever so slightly too high. Again, I'm at the center height, but the end of the handle is higher than the cutting edge. So this is rough shape. There is a lot of wood here where my thumb is. So I want to undercut that quite a bit, and for that I'll use this French curve scraper. Just want to double check where the bottom is before I go too thin. Now the surface at the moment, again, it's not the best. For now, all these are roughing cuts. So I can go slightly deeper at the bottom here, just so I know where I am. I can smooth the rest here. Again, these are all roughing cuts. Back with the asymmetric curved scraper. Still a lot of wood here. Okay, that's better. Just have to be careful. You can see here pretty much all of that edge will be in contact, which is a no-no, because that's a lot of scraper edge in contact with the wood. So I want to change the shape slightly. A light touch. You don't want to force anything. Maybe put a little decoration here as well, like so. That feels okay. And let's see the surface. This might need a little bit of a shear scraping. Yeah, that is a little bit rougher. Now this is that knot which will fall out probably. The rim here looks great, the detail looks okay. This surface I can improve a little bit. So back with the bowl scraper, I'll use it as a shear scraper. Nice and gently. Okay, that should be okay. That should be ready for quick sand. Okay, much better here, especially on the end grain. It's slightly rougher here on the side grain on the bottom, but that will again sand out. 180 grit. Here I'll use a tab of oil to go into this detail a little bit easier. And beeswax. Oh, that looks really good. So hopefully this is a little bit better angle. So hopefully you can see really nice surface. Again, nicely cut tenon, little grooves here, and on the inside again, nice surface. If you sand your work properly, no one would ever notice the tools that you use. And again, this small bead at the opening into the ball and the rim here, it's a little bit too thick, but overall it feels nice and light and good in your hand. So now, would I use only scrapers to shape a ball or to finish the ball entirely? I would say no, because although you can do it, that doesn't mean that it is the most effective tool, let's say, or the most efficient tool. So I like to use ball gouges, spindle gouges for the variety of the cuts, rough shaping as well, and to get the really nice smooth cut or smooth shape. Then I refine everything using scrapers. So that's my method behind this, and it works and serves me quite well. So thank you for watching, and see you next time.